Good morning. I thought I'd try something different. You see my little baby and the little heart there? Got like a dual camera thing. So I thought, well, let's try that. Because I like having my little right there. My little baby picture. Oh, and I'm moving the camera. Because I wanted to plug in my mic. My mics. Here. Oh, I just had some time trying to set this up. Just frustrated holding my hands up like that. Right, okay. Okay, a little bit more. There she be. Little baby me. Okay, make the most of it Mondays. Haven't been on in a couple of days. I apologize. I've been here, there, and everywhere. Going through stuff, helping others out, you know. Trying to find my flow again. Yes? Huh? Well, I've been finding it. Been having rough go with the kids. Oh, welcome. Welcome to Daily Guidance with me, Wingish Nibe Mejekikwe, or Wingish Nibish Mashkikikwe, that sweetgrass water medicine woman, or Chris Carr, superstar, and Christianna Carr. All this beautiful divine being right here. Welcome to you divine beings right here as well to our Make the Most of It Mondays. I'll get into this weekly thing. I like that. I think that's good therapy for me, hopefully for you too, maybe, right? And therapy where you don't have to talk, you get to listen to me go blah, 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 right? But actually I was thinking, did I share that with you? Like a no-talk therapy. And I think since I want to help the helpers, that might be good, right? No-talk therapy. Just come in and let me know what you want to do. Maybe like a sound therapy. I don't know. I think I mentioned that before. Oh, I think this is limiting me to only 10 minutes. Well, that's good. So I guess I should talk quick, eh? Let me tell you that my BBS found the book for the Wild Unknown Tarot. I knew there was a book. And I saw Sacred Sky Tarot. She was using this in one of her weekly readings. And so I'm like, that tells me there was definitely for sure a guidebook. I knew it wasn't just in my brain. But that's okay. And that's a beautiful friendship that my BBS and I have, because when we're talking about the books, I think there wasn't a book. And I'm like, there was a book. And I'm like, whoa, are we going to fight over a book? Right? We didn't, right? That's my natural dialogue in there, right? Because anytime somebody uses a harsher tone, I think they're getting angry at me, they're going to yell at me, and we're in this big fight, when that's not what it is. Most of the time. I did get sensitive to that, though, because of other people, you know. So I can't, you know, so that makes me aware, right? So not to project my stuff on there. So I think before I react. So I like to think that I respond, although there is times I react. Oh, for sure. This human being just reacts and then goes, wait a second, right? There's things that I have control over, and then there's the reactions that I don't. I've been talking with my kids about that too, that it's not fair when you know, somebody has, lack of better words right now, a disability or something like a post-traumatic stress. If you know there's buttons you can hit to set somebody off to a point where they have no control, that makes you responsible for whatever reaction you get from them if you're pushing to a point where they don't have that control. Like, we were raised when my Uncle Ricky came to live with us, that it was not nice to go and tease him till he lost his temper. Because if we just kept teasing him, and then he had a reflex, and not that he hit us, I'm not talking about any actual situations here, just hypothetically speaking. But we were taught not to make fun of them. We don't use words like retard or anything like that. So I was raised pretty strict in those ways, right? Because there was so many different kinds of disabilities or alter abilities in my family, you know, from the mild developmental delays to severe cerebral palsy and MS in my cousin Lisa. So there's a full range of mental health issues and physical and developmental issues, and you know, and then learning what I've learned from trauma, like lots of trauma in the family too, which actually physically alters our brains. So And watching some more Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate. A lot of his stuff and his relating that trauma to our like ADHDs and stuff like that. Because that was something I was thinking too. Maybe, thinking of a Monday, maybe on a Monday, maybe there'd be a way that I could either take a workshop with Gabor Mate, because I'd really like to talk to that man. For sure, pick his brain there too. Because it's quite interesting and controversial techniques sometimes. You know, he does, there's a book he wrote, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. I think that's one of his more popular ones. And then he has been working with ayahuasca. And he has done some work with LSD, but in micro dosing, as in a healing. So that's why it kind of goes controversial, right? Because once you might start talking about, you know, those drugs like that, whoa. But yet, here we go. Right, you got some pain. Here you go. I was going to say formaldehyde. That's not it. What's that one? Fentanyl, right? Because that was a pain thing. I didn't get into that myself. I mean, the highest that I went, my personal journey for this pain, was the Percocets. I didn't want my body to become physically dependent. So I understood that about those pharmaceuticals, that your body then becomes physically dependent on that, so that your body then is craving that. So that goes beyond your control and makes it harder for those thoughts, right? So it's not, I used to think too that addiction, well, why don't they just choose not to drink? Why don't they just choose not to sniff that stuff up their nose? But to understand addiction in so many different ways, there's so many different kinds of addictions, not just the ones we ingest, but the behaviors and things, that it's might have started out as a choice, but there's certain things you get into, it goes beyond that choice. You know what I mean? When we get into that compulsive things, because we've trained our brain, we just habitually keep doing that, right? So I think it's going to cut me off at 10 minutes, and I'm at 7-Eleven right now. So I'll draw a card quickly from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then I'll go into a daily guidance for Monday. Try to keep on top of this, because I haven't been doing it for myself either. Remember, I stepped in. I don't know if anybody remembers. If you've been watching from the start, I started this because I want to do my dailies. An Ace of Cups. It's an offering of love. You have my love always. Yes, you do. Always have the love. So, but since I just started on that one, look at that. There's the world, and that matches the front of the guidebook. Beautiful. 7:48. Let's do this quick. Okay, with regular tarots, they usually ask you to do 3 cuts. You know, it's about intuitive, right? It's about going from within. And what's it say to you? Even as I read the cards, I know this one, Wild Unknown, it really encourages you to use your own intuition. It doesn't give you long descriptions in the book for the cards, but it's a nice little starting off point, right? Nice little starting off point. So we got 8:13. Let's see if we could do this. Might stop on its own. So I love you. Thank you for being you and shining your light through at everything you do, because you know this world needs you. And look at that. 1. Oh, 2 flipped. Balance. We have the Justice, which Rich I found. Remember we discovered on here together that this is 8. And usually in the tarot, 8 is the Strength card. And here it is the Justice card. But this is about balance. Balance being brought into your life. We need to find our own balance. It begins within, right? We can't blame that on anyone else. That's an inside job. You know, sometimes we have justice outside of us too, because we need to do court things and whatever, because we need a outside non-biased opinion. We talked about that with Thursdays, right? Good therapist is not your partner, lover, or, you know, friendly. Unbiased opinion. You want somebody that doesn't know you, right? And then the, what is that? The 9 of Wands. You know, almost a completion happening there. Open at the 5 of Wands. Let me see if I can get through this. 45 seconds. 45 seconds. It might cut off. I love you. I love you. If it does, you know I love you. 9 of Wands. This 9s usually imply your journey is near completion. But on this final stretch, you find yourself growing weary. Doubt and fear are running through your mind. The 9 of Wands asks you to rally your confidence and realize how far you've come. Lift your eyes and take a few more steps. Soon all your hard work will start to pay off. Keep watching. Then you have that balance. When you have that hard work for that balance, it's coming. It's coming in your life. So hang in there. And what's that say to you? What does that say to you? I got 10 seconds. I love you. Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you for being you and shining your light through.